The smell of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, mingling with faint hum of a jukebox that hadn't changed its waitress told the bikers, "They won't stop following me." Their reaction left the diner silent. The night was cold and wet, the kind of night where the neon lights of a roadside diner shimmered in puddles, and truck engines hummed softly in the parking lot. Inside Maggie's diner, the scent of coffee and fried bacon filled the air, mixing with the low murmur of tired travelers. Emma wiped down the counter for the fifth time that night. She was young, barely 30, but life had carved exhaustion into her eyes. Her shift was almost over, but her hands trembled slightly as she stacked the cups. She glanced outside through the rain-streaked window, her breath quickening. Two shadowy figures stood near the gas pumps, pretending to smoke, but their eyes were on her. They'd been there for days, and she knew exactly who they were. Emma swallowed hard, trying to act normal as the diner door opened, and 5 men in leather jackets walked in, bikers, from the Iron Angels Club, their boots heavy on the tile floor. The whole place went silent, except for the jingling of the diner bell. The leader, a tall, gray-bearded man named Rex, gave her a warm nod. Even an "Sweetheart, coffee for the boys?" She managed a faint smile. "Sure, Rex, coming right up." But her hands were shaking so badly she spilled half the pot. Rex noticed. His sharp eyes flicked from her to the window, where the 2 men were still watching. He leaned forward, lowering his voice. "Emma, what's going on?" She froze. For a second, she wanted to lie. Say she was just tired. That nothing was wrong. But the truth broke out of her lips before she could stop it. "They won't stop following me." The words hung heavy in the air, cutting through the soft clatter of dishes. The other bikers looked up, their faces darkening. "Who?" Rex asked, his tone suddenly sharp. Emma's voice cracked. "My ex-boyfriend, and his brother. They've been waiting outside every night since I left him. I thought if I ignored them, they'd stop." Her eyes shimmered. "But I'm scared. I can't even walk home." The diner went completely silent. The cook in the back paused. The customers stopped eating. All eyes turned to the window, where the 2 men were now staring directly inside. Rex stood slowly, his chair scraping the floor. His fellow riders followed without a word. The sound of leather jackets stretching filled the room as they walked toward the door, boots echoing. Emma's heart pounded. "No, please, don't make it worse," she whispered. Rex looked back at her, calm and steady. "We don't make things worse, sweetheart. We make them stop." The bell above the door jingled as they stepped out into the rain. From inside, everyone watched through the glass. The 2 stalkers shifted uneasily as the bikers approached, 6 against 2. One of the men tried to speak, but Rex just pointed a finger at him, quiet but commanding. Whatever he said next, no one in the diner could hear it, but they saw the fear in the men's faces. Within seconds, the pair backed away, climbed into their car, and sped off into the night. When Rex and his crew walked back in, dripping wet, no one said a word. Emma stood frozen behind the counter, tears brimming in her eyes. Rex smiled faintly. "Looks like you'll be walking home safe tonight." Emma shook her head, voice trembling. "I don't even know how to thank you." Rex shrugged, pulling out a few bills and dropping them on the counter. "You just did, darlin'. You trusted us." The other bikers grinned, sipping their coffee as if nothing had happened. The rest of the diner burst into quiet applause. As the night went on, Emma realized something she hadn't in a long time. That kindness doesn't always come from polished smiles or fancy suits. Sometimes it roars in on 2 wheels, covered in leather and tattoos, and simply does what's right. Later, as she walked home with one of the bikers escorting her on his motorcycle, she looked up at the sky. The rain had stopped, and a few stars had broken through. She whispered softly, "Thank you, to no one in particular, maybe to the heavens, maybe to the people who still cared enough to protect a stranger." And from that night on, the 2 men never came back. But the Iron Angels did, not to guard her, but to check in. To make sure she knew that she was never alone again. Because sometimes, angels don't wear wings. Sometimes, they wear leather. Moral: kindness and courage come in many forms. You never know who might be sent your way to protect you when you need it most.